Good afternoon, Senator Gallego. My name is Mia Lord, and I am a Master of Social Work student at Arizona State University advocating for reform to the Supplemental Security Income, otherwise known as SSI for Children policy. I appreciate the time you've taken to meet with me today. Much of my work revolves around supporting children and their families' health and wellness, including their navigation of systems meant to support development, such as the SSI program. Today, I would like to discuss with you a necessary reform to the SSI for Children policy that directly affects families caring for children with disabilities whose caretaking duties hinder their access to a livable wage and other resources. Specifically, I will address the eligibility requirements of the SSI for Children policy set for determining whether children with disabilities qualify for benefits. The purpose of this reform is to ensure more children with disabilities in working poor families can access critical financial support, have their basic needs met, and support their long-term health and development. The current eligibility requirements for families to receive financial assistance under the SSI for Children policy are restrictive and should be more inclusive of a broad spectrum of disabilities. Specific aspects of the current requirements state that the disability must be medically determinable and must last continuously for a period of 12 months or be expected to result in death. I ask you, where do the disabilities that are more complex to document and diagnose, such as behavioral and cognitive disabilities, fall under these strict requirements? What about episodic disabilities, like epilepsy, that wouldn't be considered continuous but still cause individuals severe functional impairment? As you can see, the current eligibility requirements of the SSI for Children policy inequitably favor those children with a more recognizable disability over more complicated diagnoses. Studies even show that individuals with non-physical disabilities and disabilities that are more difficult to document are disadvantaged in the application and review process of receiving benefits. Therefore, children with complex neurodevelopmental disorders, sensory processing disorders, multiple minor disabilities leading to severe functional limitations, and newer, less studied diagnoses are often denied financial assistance from SSI even when their disability significantly limits their daily functioning and inflicts major financial strain on caregivers. The result of these inequitable requirements is that many families caring for children with disabilities are unfairly overlooked to receive benefits from SSI. Children with disabilities and their families already face numerous barriers to accessing employment, education, and healthcare. Supporting an additional barrier in the form of strict eligibility requirements to receive financial assistance poses an additional burden and opposes the fundamental human right that every person should have access to an adequate standard of living. Roughly 25% of individuals with a disability live in poverty in the United States, which is too great a number to ignore any longer. To ensure all individuals are represented justly to receive vital resources, the SSI for Children policy's eligibility requirements should be adjusted to include children with multifaceted and periodic disabilities. Senator Gallego, I implore you to draft a bill in the Senate that will expand the definition of what is deemed a disability under the SSI for Children policy. This bill can call for more inclusive assessment tools, such as measures of education, communication, and behavioral health for the Social Security Administration to better determine severe functional impairment, even in those children with non-continuous and complex disabilities. Consider adding in this reform bill a more encompassing measurement tool, such as one that is modeled after the residual functional capacity assessment for adults. This assessment tool better measures functional capacity by examining individuals' ability to perform exertional and non-exertional tasks. Please think about the countless citizens suffering in poverty from their caretaking demands and functional limitations that you can support through the creation of this bill. Your dedication to supporting social welfare and equitable reform has not gone unnoticed, as is seen by your lively advocacy on public forums. The issues within the eligibility requirements of the SSI for Children policy need your attention and political influence to garner appropriate awareness and change. I believe in your ability to affect this awareness and change on behalf of your constituents and those in need. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.